Why, hello there, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. My name is Mr. Dogbot333, and welcome back to Hearts of Iron 4, the new order as Tyumen. Now, we had a bit of a time jump since the last time we joined each other. Namely, a big enough time jump that we managed to get negotiations done. We had nothing else in the focus tree. It was going to be a lot of dead weight, just kind of seeing what was going to happen in the world. Not to say there's some interesting stuff that didn't happen. There's like some Russians that rose up over in Kazakhstan. But they lost. I don't know if that's fortunate or unfortunate, honestly. But, you know what? We're just going to go with it. Anyhow, we have gone ahead and done some diplomatic negotiations. It was fairly easy. These guys didn't put up too much of a resistance, honestly. These guys are at war with each other, and we're going ahead and integrating the West Russian Soviet Republic. Coring it instantly. Very, very nice. Guess we did not get integration on Cola. That's okay. What do we got here production unit-wise? We still got some stuff to build up. How's our economy looking right now? We got a nice surplus going, even without doing anything, military-wise. Hold on. Go ahead. Make sure these guys are converted over to, and that's not what I wanted to do. Oh, we can get a field marshal. Here we got. Do we not have Konev equipped already? We don't. Let's get Konev equipped. Marines. Only fucking Marines. We'll switch these guys over to, I believe these are 20 wits. Got some boring, we'll leave the tanks. And then, what do we want to do? Alright, I had brain fart for a second. This is what we want to do. 5, 6. Let's get, what do we want? Get Oleg in here. Next up we'll get Ivan. And then finally Vasily. Alright, if I'm not mistaken. Is there anything here I want to do real quick? I'll do some last minute poverty relief. Little, was I informed the one that decreased poverty too? Doesn't look like it. Healthcare networks, healthcare would work. Obviously with education. And our, I don't know what you call it. I'll do this real quick as well. And then let's just go ahead and get working on Russian reunification. Our max credit ranking can improve as well. And we are on track to get acceptable credit. Look at us. There we go. check out our new focus tree. It's a little one, but we got the nuclear stuff, which we already know about. It's the same for all of them except for Tabby. We get a second 5-year plan. That's interesting. Totalitarian police state. That's very fun. Oh, and would you look at that? Well, it looks like we might want to rush this one first. Well, on the right track, at least. The Soviet Union is well on track to its restoration. Almost half of the motherland has been taken back, be it from the fascists, the pretenders, or the warlords. However, now that a secure power base has been established in central Russia, the process of warring must take a temporary reprieve. Comrade Gonvik understands that if a state is to expand into the rest of Russia, it will need a strong industrial sector, a well-organized military, and a political system free from internal threats. Thus, all three must be accomplished. Engineers and industrials will begin the rapid construction of new heavy industry sectors that will provide tanks, rifles, and artillery pieces that will be needed for further expansion. The military will be expanded and allowed to retrain and reorganize following the guerrilla campaign to unite Western Siberia. Finally, certain political elements will be removed in order to prevent the rise of internal threats or opposition to Gonvik's guiding hand. While these goals may seem difficult to achieve, they are necessary if the Soviet Union is ever to be restored. There we go. I get my water. I have the bottle on my bed, but I don't have it near my desk, which is counterproductive to me getting water now. Some nice cold water. We love to have it. Alright, how's our economy doing? 4.5% growth. That's pretty good. We could do some military austerity to cut that a little bit. Did that increase? I think that increased. I don't know how that works. I don't think it does work, actually. I think it's supposed to. Inventory experts for these guys. You have... Dupin's our expert on you. Oh, well. Our GDP has grown pretty well. Could do a tax hike. I'll do a tax hike. Start paying off some of that debt. We have just about no... Oh, look at that. And then to wonders, on to an uncertain future. Now, there's no such thing as propaganda. What liberal dissidents would call propaganda deception, Comrade Kaganovich calls necessary. Siberia can be compared to a stained glass window. In the old days before the Soviet Union dissolved, the Communist Party and the state served as a pewter metalwork that held the window together. Now the window is broken into 1,000 different pieces, 1,000 colors, and 1,000 ideologies. The only way to put the pieces of window back together is through the media and political indoctrination of the public. To successfully achieve mass propaganda and indoctrination, a much tighter grip will have to be placed over Siberia as a whole. The mass media will have to be greatly expanded, and new, standardized school curricula will have to be enforced. In addition, the NKVD will likely have to be deployed to many towns and villages across the region, if only to scare the locals into submission. Do a little bit of trolling. A little bit of mischief. How's our schooling going? It's coming along. Lazar Kaganovich stared intensely from his bed at the clock that stood on his nightstand. The hands of the device indicated that it was just approaching 2 in the morning, and yet the chairman was just as awake as had been all day. The nightly battles against insomnia had been frequent as of late, and rolling around did nothing to bring them to a close, only serving to occasionally waken his wife, Maria, much to her annoyance. Don't I have comment to remember? Thought I did. Yet, Lazar's mind was focused not on the fact that he had been losing valuable hours of sleep, but on concerns of an entirely different nature. The chairman had recently emerged victorious in a struggle for control over yet another vast portion of Russia. Such an accomplishment would surely be something to be proud of, especially for a man with so much yet to prove. Why was it, then, that Lazar felt vulnerable? The Republic's enemies without ceased to be an issue for the time being, but what if their enemies within? Chairman Kaganovic's political position appeared to be as secure as ever, with his political squabbles with Khrushchev seemingly unresolved amicably even after an unfortunate series of misunderstandings regarding his loyalty. Certainly Khrushchev wasn't the problem, so who was? The chairman's mind raced faster and faster. Someone within the Republic certainly had designs on the revolution that stood contrary to both the late comrade Stalin and Lazar's, but it had to be those who had so far eluded his suspicion, and had been allowed to operate with virtually no oversight from the state. Lazar's eyes went wide as his racing thoughts finally crashed into a logical destination, and a realization dawned. The Red Army. Uh-oh. Well, let's cut off this. I think we'll be okay. No workshops, just normal factories. Kaganovich approached the podium in front of the Politburo to loud applause. Despite their outward support of the politician, he had a sunken feeling knowing traitors were probably in his very midst. However, his plans were drawn up and he had to display them to the Politburo, no matter how treacherous they may be. Comrades! Now is the time we begin our plan for the true reunification of Russia. More applause. With West Russia joining the revolution, it's time we spread Stalin's vision east. And so, for the reunification of Russia nearing, so too comes a plan for the restructuring of a new Soviet Union. A stronger Soviet Union. One that will not buckle under threat of fascist and reactionary forces. One that will endure through iron will and determination. While we may have a strong military now, it must be even stronger. The war industry alongside it must grow. Only then will Russia be avenged. We cannot have weakness, not when the Germans and the reactionaries eagerly wait to put us down again. Even more applause filled the room. Finally. With the restructuring of a new union, we must also discourage reactionaries within our own territories. Soon the removal of certain counter-revolutionary forces will be set in place for a stronger and more secure union. The enemies of socialism will not be tolerated anywhere, especially in Russia. With his address finished, Kaganovich's cold eyes scanned across the room, the applause having abated. Only the reactionaries have something to fear. I never did. I need to catch up with the new research. I'll get working on that right now. We're just about on time for a lot of this, so let's get to it. Oh, well, that's interesting. Oh. I haven't seen this happen in a while. My carbon cores and all of this is interesting. Oh, claims on this, actually. Cores on this. Well, in war, there are no winners or losers, only victims. Michel del Castillo, Iberia's Dusk. Well, at least our debt to GDP ratio has gone dramatically down. That is beautiful. Look at that. Half Navy expenditure. That was incredible. Peacekeeping, yes. And no such thing as propaganda. There's only truth. Comrade Gionvik is a stern man, but a liar he is not. While he certainly has twisted the truth a little in the past or presented alternative facts to the situation, he would never lie to the people of Russia. Some things simply don't need to be known by the public at large. State secrets or deceptive foreign lies that might paint Gionvik in a bad light simply should not be shown or discussed to the people. While behind closed doors many whisper that they fear Kaganovich and his NKVD, most of those unexposed to foreign lies have a good opinion of our beloved leader. There you go, we now have acceptable credit. Well, anything in Soviet Russia is acceptable. Let's keep it 100 here. Fadir hated those fucking eyes. They seemed to cover every wall, every party building, every bus, every surface in all of Tyumen. Everyone knew what the chairman looked like, for God's sake. They didn't need to plaster the whole damn city with his face. Follow the lead of Comrade Kaganovich, said one poster, emblazoned with the man himself, surrounded by a group of smiling children. That one sat just outside of his apartment block, ready to ambush him with its banality right as he began his commute. Some of Fadir's friends had shaken their heads and said that he was merely irritable. A party man had told him that he'd earned a one-way ticket to be Arctic with that sort of mindset. Fadir didn't think he was being unreasonable, though. He thought it was perfectly natural to be annoyed by a balding despot who had to tell everyone about how great he was. His daily walk to the construction site where he worked was harried by an exponentially increasing number of Lazar Kaganovich. There was a new one today, plastered all over what had been a nice mural. It featured the chairman fiercely gripping a captain's wheel with the words above reading, "Russia without the Communist Party is like a ship without a navigator." Fadir had a few choice words about where the party was steering Russia, but he had suppressed them, giving a withering look to the poster's unfeeling eyes instead. What felt like hundreds of parts of a chairman's eyes bored into his soul as he went, but he finally made it to his side. Just as he sighed in relief, something entered his field of vision that almost made him yell in indignation. Mocking him, stuck on the wall of a train station they had just finished, was the largest poster he had ever seen. That egotistical bastard. What a jerk. Wait, I mean that. Please don't send me to the gulag. Glory to Kaganovich, of course. What do we want to do with you? We'll get a charismatic, orc first, and those are probably the best to start off on. Well, that's not looking good for the revolution. Well, there's only truth in only what they need to know. No one can be trusted. The most harmless society can develop into vicious political manipulators, agitators, dissidents, and other enemies of a state. Every worker, every soldier, every mother, every NKVD agent, every single individual is a pair of eyes and ears that could be used against the state. If Comrade Kaganovich's vision for a restored Soviet Union are to be accomplished, the eyes of the people must be closed and their ears to be covered to all information, except for what they need to know. The bureaucracy shall be greatly expanded to the point that access to information is virtually impossible. Sorry, I have some ice I need to chew. Army officers and party officials shall only be given the minimum amount of information to achieve their task. The only person who knows the true extent and going-ons of the new Soviet Union shall be Comrade Kaganovich and a very few select individuals. Information shall be the enemy of the people and the ally of the state. There we flippin' go. We'll close that out. Our poverty rate is coming along quite nicely. Oh, I forgot to point out, but Philip Hard's now president. I forget who was president before. It's old Philly H. Was it Bobby Kennedy before, was it? I think it was Bobby. I really want to play Philip Hart. I just haven't had time to get it figured out. Is that... I kind of look like Donald Trump from a distance, but... yeah, anyway. Our academic base is up, going up quite nicely. Oh, wait, we need to do another focus. My bad. I blinked out there. Well, we have a job yet unfinished. Despite all the work that Comrade Kaganovic has put into the internal security of a state, some individuals simply cannot be convinced to abandon their wretched ideologies. The people have already been exposed to dangerous, subversive beliefs and must be silenced. They number in the thousands and make up a significant portion of the political bureaucracy, the military, and even the secret police. Now all these desperate enemies of the revolution shall be purged. Something that should have been done a long time ago. NKVD agents who are known to be loyal will seek out and question individuals who have shown unpatriotic or subversive activities in the past. The men will be interrogated, put on show trial, and either executed or sent away to toil in a Siberian labor camp. For too long they have gone unchecked in Soviet society. But with Comrade Kaganovic as our leader, their allotted time has expired. And on that note, I will go ahead and leave things there. Thanks for watching, comrades. We'll see you all next time. Good night, and glory to the revolution.